All right. Welcome to Next Round Sports Week 1 overview and Week 2 preview of the NFL season for our three teams, the Ravens, Cowboys, and Bengals. We're going to start off with the Cowboys again. Unfortunately, we are down a person tonight. Mr. Porter is not feeling well, so wish him well. Also means, unfortunately, we won't get Mr. Jameson today, which is sad as well, but hope they're all doing well. Uh, I'm Caleb Culver. This is Mr. Jeff Amos today, so we'll be your moderators for this evening. All right, and we'll get started, I guess, with the Cowboys. Unfortunately, doing what they do a lot. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 24-20 last week. Oh, not good. What do you think, Mr. Jeff?
Well, I mean, it was a tale of two games, really. One pre-lightning delay, and then one
Yeah,
post-lightning delay.
very true. An hour and a half weather delay in that game.
Yeah, it was 21-20 at the half with the Eagles, and then 23-20. Excuse me, 24-20 final, obviously. Um, I,
Mm.
so I,
Yeah, neither offense really got started after that weather delay. They just kind of died.
Not at all. And it's hard. It's really a hard game to evaluate. Such a bizarre game. You start off the game with Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott, getting
Yep,
ejected,
a
and missing
spitting
the
incident.
entire game.
Yeah. Still not worried if
And
he's going to be suspended by the league anymore.
he will
Um,
not. He that just came
okay.
out today that he'll be fined an additional game check. But the NFL said that his uh, ejection warranted the suspension. They deemed that was enough, which I kind of disagree with.
Okay.
Um, but so it's really difficult game to evaluate because it's really two tale of two different games. But one one thing that we can make note of is C.D. Lamb had some critical drops at the end of the game. I would say
Yeah. I mean, that's one of
about
the
three
four
of them.
games I think he's had with three drops apiece in that game. Granted, two of them
Right.
came after the weather delay when we were talking about that affects players. So maybe his head wasn't right.
Oh, I think
Uh,
the weather delay definitely had something to do with those drops. I think that when you have all that I guess momentum, for lack of a better word, or all that focus, and then that's taken away when you're in the middle of a lightning delay. And
yeah, but I mean, they
uh,
do pay him the big bucks. So, I mean,
oh
you're
yeah,
expected
sure.
to catch those balls.
Absolutely. Not trying to make any excuses for CD, but
Yeah.
I really think that the lightning delay did have an effect um, on uh, on those drops. Also, I thought the run defense was absolutely atrocious for Dallas.
Yeah, see,
I,
I've been hearing that a lot, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think it was okay. You get probably the best rusher or one of the best rusher. I'm not gonna take that away from Derrick Henry, but the 68 yards, that's a good game. Yeah, I mean they got 158 total rushing yards, but you're able to hold the main guy down. Hurts kind
yeah,
of killed you, but that's I think more pass protection than it is run defense necessarily.
yeah. I thought there were some runs by Hurts late in that game that kind of uh, kind of solidified Dallas, or kind of solidified not necessarily the game, but really made it difficult for Dallas to come back at the end of the game. Now, granted, they were
Very
close,
true.
but I thought that the defense, or the run defense in particular, was pretty disappointing. Um, I thought on the flip side, I thought Dak looked great. I thought he
Yeah.
was. I thought he was accurate. He was ready to go. I thought this was a very well coached game by Brian Schottenheimer. A lot of people were questioning whether or not.
I'm not gonna give him the just yet.
Oh
Dak
no,
Prescott did look great though. He looked back to his 2023 form, so I'm glad I grabbed him on the fantasy bench right now. But yeah, I'm not ready to give Brian that crown yet.
oh no, no one's giving him a crown just yet. I just thought they looked like a confident team It wasn't like Dave Campo coaching out there.
That's true. There wasn't any like weird game management mistakes where you forgot to call a timeout or why didn't you challenge that play or anything along those lines.
Correct. And then Javonte Williams had a great first half with the 2 rushing touchdowns.
See, I might disagree with you there a little bit, though, too. To me, Javonte Williams has been blown out of proportion. I mean, yeah, 2 touchdowns. He had 38 yards. 38 yards. That's it. You got close there with the passing game, and you managed to score 2 touchdowns. Congratulations. You're a vulture.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm over. Like I said, I'm not going to overreact one way or another on game 1 of week 1. But I think he's a little bit blown out, I think.
Yeah, I would say probably the most critical play of the game was the Miles Sanders fumble.
Yep, and right before the delay too.
Right before the delay, it was Miles Sanders goes to the left and then fumbles, and then it was recovered by Philadelphia, and that was the last time we saw Dallas that far in scoring position
wrong.
because the rest of the game was punt, turnover on downs, and so I think that it's a game. If you're Dallas, I don't know if you necessarily come away pleased with it because a loss is still a loss, but
much less to the Eagles.
Yeah. Now, if you're Philadelphia, I'm really sweating it because I think their run defense wasn't very good at all. I mean, giving up 22 carries for 119 yards. I thought their secondary wasn't very good. They were not granted. They were clearly missing Jalen Carter that entire game.
Yeah. That pass rush was also non-existent, basically.
No.
And then also A.J. Brown being non-existent on the offensive end as well for the Eagles. Yeah, I would feel better, honestly, about this game if I was a Cowboys fan than I would be if I was the Eagles fan, for all the reasons you listed.
Yeah, and like you said, no A.J. Brown sighting at all until the final really play of the game, or at least offensively for the Eagles, because he only had 1 target. And then other than that, it was Goddard who was your main threat receiving. And what did we think of George Pickens in his Dallas debut? I thought he was okay.
Yeah, he was solid. He wasn't great, but I think they also kind of forgot about him. He kind of disappeared in the second half too.
Correct, and you can chalk that up to everyone disappearing in the second half,
except for CD, who unfortunately got highlighted by his drops.
That is correct. Yes, and I thought Kenneth Murray was absolutely terrible, and again, you're missing Micah Parsons when that happens. I mean, yes, you could look at the box score and say Kenneth Murray, 9 total tackles, 4 solo. No, he did an awful job against the run, and he had trouble containing Jalen Hurts.
Containment was one of the big flaws of this game defensively for the Cowboys.
Correct. And I thought Marshawn Kneeland had a solid game, pass rushing wise. I thought Sam Williams looked really solid too. Now, I will say that another player that stood out to me that really didn't perform the way I would have liked to have seen is DaRon Bland. I didn't think he was much of an impact in the secondary at all.
I don't know. To me, I think good cornerbacks are like good IT. It's the ones you never hear about. Like, they didn't throw to him because he was doing good coverage.
True. Yeah, I just would have liked to have seen more from him after him getting
Very true.
paid.
Yeah,
the
especially
big
after getting
bucks.
paid and Parsons being traded. You would have liked to have seen something splashy from him.
Correct. And so, and I still think probably Digazua is your best defensive player at this point, plugging up the defensive line. Even though I just said that even though I said that the run defense is terrible, I still think he was a key piece and not.
I thought Oza
making
did
it a
good. I
total
thought the new
disaster.
addition of Clark. I thought Clark did okay as well.
Yeah, Kenny Clark looked solid too. I mean, I think that your interior line, in theory, is supposed to now be your biggest strength. Unfortunately, I don't. As far as the run defense is concerned, I don't. I know we're in a little bit of a disagreement on that as far as whether or not it was good or not. I guess you could say that they contained Barkley. That was pretty solid.
But like you said, that's why I think it's more the pass rush. Like you said, that interior looked solid, but they couldn't contain. So runs to the outside or runs to the C gap or B gap were much more effective against the edge rushers than they normally are been. Because Micah Parsons is an underrated run defense, even though we've talked about him getting 12 sacks, I think, the last 3 years before he left the Cowboys. So not being able to get that outside and lock it down was a problem.
Correct. And so, as far as looking at this game next week against the Giants, I thought the Giants, I mean, they looked absolutely terrible against Washington. And
the Giants are the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are pretty much the Giants we've seen since.
They are who we thought they were, Jeff.
Yes, exactly. They are who we thought they were. They brought in Brian Daboll a few years ago for offensive help, and once again they struggle offensively. The line on that game is Dallas is a 6-point favorite going in. Russell Wilson didn't do too much of anything. They weren't able to run the ball whatsoever. You saw Malik Neighbors get into argument with Daboll on the sidelines. I thought their defense struggled too.
They honestly, like, where do you look if you're a Giants fan right now? You can't look at the offense and go, oh, hey, yeah, that. You can't look at your defense and go, oh, yeah, that guy's good. The Giants are just honestly a mess. And if the Cowboys don't come away with a win next week, then we can really start worrying, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a must-win game for Dallas. Because you'll start off 0-2, divisional opponent against what I would say is probably one of the worst teams in the National Football League. They made Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt look like he was Derrick Henry out there. He was
at least Bucky Irving. I don't know about Derrick Henry. At least Bucky Irving.
Yeah. And then Jaden Daniels running the ball as well. Even Debo getting involved running the football too.
That late scramble for that touchdown.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little concerned about Washington. I mean, they not to get too involved into Washington as we want to focus mainly on the Cowboys Giants, but Terry McLaurin wasn't even a factor for the Giants. So I think this is a game that was 21-6. It could have been 35-6 if Washington was clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, the only thing I'm looking forward to this game is honestly I'm hoping Cam Scadaboo gets a little bit more touches because I kind of want to see what he can do. But I think it's a little too early for that to be happening necessarily if you're Giants because they're still trying to figure out their players, even though they're just a bad team.
Yeah,
Coach and GM are probably honestly gone at the end of this year.
Yeah, Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll both on the hot seat, to say the least. Their seats are on
Very hot.
fire.
Yep. Muy caliente.
Yes. And so I guess we can go ahead and move on to.
Sounds good. If you have nothing else, we'll go ahead and call this round done. We'll catch everyone up here on the next round. We dive into some Bengals and hope the defense does better this week. And welcome back, everybody. Now we get to go into the Bengals, the 1-0 Bengals, getting to beat the Browns 17-16. I'm going to toss this one over to you, Jeff, since this is your team.
Correct.
What do you think?
And to quote Joe Burrow after the game, we stole one today. And yes, the Bengals absolutely had no
wasn't
business.
necessarily a pretty game, but a win's a win.
No.
Especially against a division opponent.
No, the Bengals had no business winning this game whatsoever. 17-16. It was a game which, frankly, we've seen for the past 4 seasons now to start off the year, where they.
Well, it's a little different because it's a win. You were 1-11 in Week 1 game, so
true, but I mean,
2-11.
result withstanding.
Eye test, yes.
Yes, I mean, this was a game that they should have lost, and quite frankly, always have lost in the past.
Very true.
The Bengals offense only got 2 net yards in the entire second half. And that was the worst for anyone that's won a game since 1991. Bengals had trouble containing Myles Garrett, particularly in the second half. Now, granted, look, I'm not here to say that Myles Garrett isn't great. He's a phenomenal player, but again, he, as usual, gave the Bengals fits. Our offensive line against the run wasn't very good either. Chase Brown,
you're expecting, couldn't find any lanes.
No, not at all. And he finished with 21 carries for 43 yards. Joe Burrow had one of his worst games of his career in terms of passing yards.
Very true. 51.4 QBR.
Yeah.
Not what you expect from him.
No. And a lot of people want to give a lot of credit to the defense. I simply give the credit to Browns making mistakes. I don't know how many times, because we watched this game together. How many drops, and then drops that turned into interceptions. We saw a missed extra point from Andre Schmidt, along with the missed field goal from Andre Schmidt, and that cost the Browns.
Yeah, cost them the game basically.
Because when you look at the Browns, with the exception of those 2 turnovers that the Bengals had, those were, again, set up a little bit on drops as well. You had Cedric Tillman go off. You had Harold Fannin go off. Dylan Sampson, Jerry Jeudy, all had 5 catches or more. Joe Flacco was 31 of 45 in that game. I'd say the only thing, and I remember commenting on this during the game as well, I thought our run defense was pretty solid. So if anything improved defensively, I'd say our run defense was okay. I think it was critical to have BJ Hill back on our team, and he also got a sack as well. And I thought TJ Slayton coming in did solid as well, kind of reminiscent of a Larry Ogunjobi, BJ Hill combination from the past on that interior of the line. But I still think there's a lot of concerns with this Bengals team. The only positive that really came from this game was, in fact, that they got the W. And other than that, There was really nothing to write home
Yeah.
about at all. I mean,
I mean, Trey was doing his thing, being disruptive as he was last year. Logan Wilson had a good game for you too on that defense,
yes,
but can't necessarily say too much on the backside. Cameron Taylor Britt, not good. Battle overall wasn't good, even though I believe he got an interception we talked about earlier.
correct.
So I mean, overall, I think your secondary looked bad, but I think the line did okay as far as defense go. And like you said, I think that helps you stop the run. Need to get more pressure. Hopefully, Stewart can get a little more pressure on the ball, but I think he did a good job at least setting the edge for your rookie in that game.
Yeah, I thought Shamar Stewart looked pretty good at times in that game, and another I thought a solid rookie performance was Demetrius Knight, our second round
Yes, the
pick.
other linebacker.
Yeah, and so solid performance from our linebacker play, but I thought the secondary was a lot to be desired. Yeah, particularly Cam Taylor Britt, and then as you mentioned, Jordan Battle, even though he did get one of the interceptions.
Yeah,
You know,
like you
he
said, were
struggled.
those donks off the hands though? So it's not like he just stepped in front and got it. He got lucky being in the right position. I guess luck's not necessarily a strong word, but he was in the area to get it.
Exactly.
Well, let me
And
ask you this then: as the
yes.
Bengals fan, what are you more worried about? Your defense or your offense right now?
Oh, definitely the defense. Because
Really? Because I thought your
yeah,
defense did okay, but Burrow, like I said, not a good game,
no, and I think
and that extends out to the wide receivers, of course.
you have to give a lot of credit to the Browns defense, though, in regards to that,
That is a
because
good defense. That's one of the underrated, I think, for the Browns. Is their defense is above average.
yeah, because I mean, I think obviously, led by Myles Garrett. I thought Isaiah McGuire had a great game
Yeah, Guire
too.
Newsome was good out there.
Correct, and then you have the rookie defensive tackle and Mason Graham, who's going to be really good for them. I thought Carson Schlesinger, the rookie out of UCLA, had a great game for them as well. There's overall their secondary, I thought was great,
Yeah.
and that's just a really solid defense. Again, I go back to the missed field goals, the drop passes, or missed field goal, missed extra point.
Yeah, this
Rather,
was an ugly game by both teams, I think.
yeah, and allowing a quarterback like Joe Flacco to throw for 290.
You shut your mouth about the great Joe Flacco.
You know it's
But
not
yeah,
the old
I know.
Joe
Not a
Flacco.
40-year-old out there looking like Warren Moon, man.
Yeah, and so I think I don't think that necessarily the Bengals looked if they're not forcing turnovers, this defense is still I think has some serious problems. So, and I'll chalk this one up to the Browns defense being just very good with Myles Garrett and company on the defensive line, and as well as that secondary with Greg Newsome and Grant Delpit. And however, offensive line is a bit of a concern. Lucas Patrick already was a fringe starter. He is going to be out for a number of games. We'll have Dalton Reisner replacing him on that right guard spot. So,
which may be a benefit.
which may be a benefit. I think it's probably
not to speak bad of the injured, but yeah, like you said, he didn't look good.
No. So, again, overall, a win is a win. I'll take it. And then just looking at the game next week against Jacksonville, I thought, or at least from the little bit we saw this Jacksonville game, Carolina is probably one of the worst teams in the league. Bryce Young was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and now, granted, as far as Jacksonville is concerned, can the Bengals stop Trevor Lawrence? what can they do against Travis
Trevor
Hunter?
Lawrence, May, yeah. I got Brandon Strange of all people starting on my tight end list because they're going against the Bengals.
Oh, well, there you go. He had 4 receptions for 59 yards in that game against Carolina. But yeah, Travis Etienne had a monster day for them. 16 carries, 143 yards. Not much out of Brian Thomas, which is a little surprising. So
Yeah,
we'll be able
that's
to
true.
see. We'll see whether or not Jacksonville can get more out of Travis Hunter as well as Brian Thomas, because really it was just the Travis Etienne show, and which was good enough to beat one of the worst teams in the league in Carolina. And again, it's hard to evaluate defensively how good Jacksonville is. I think Bryce Young, those interceptions are mainly on him as opposed to anything defensively Jacksonville did. And also a lost fumble for Bryce Young. So, it's tough to evaluate Jacksonville at this point. Again, other than the fact that they did what they're supposed to do, which is beat a crappy team at home, and they did that.
That they did. So before I guess we wrap up the Bengals segment here, who's your pick to win? You should go on Bengals, or you think the Jacksonville may squeak this one out?
That's a great question. Bengals are a 3.5-point pick against Jacksonville. Games played in Cincinnati. I like the Bengals in this game, and I think we're going to get a bounce back game from Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I really like that. I really like them exposing the Jacksonville secondary. And
don't forget, you got Noah Fant now.
And Noah Fant, who got that 1-yard touchdown as well, correct? And I thought the Bengals defensively against the run, I think they'll be able to contain Etienne a bit. I think the key, however, will be is whether or not they allow Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter to get involved in this game. If they're able to somehow just limit them, then I think they'll win this game.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm having to agree with you. I think this is going to be a close game because it's going to be scoring. But I do expect a bounce back game from your Bengals, even though they don't usually show early in the season. But I think they're more ready to be in this year based on Burrow's kind of talk from the preseason. And yeah, talk's cheap, but I'm going to back Burrow, one of the best QBs in the league. So I think the offense will bounce back, and I'm a little higher on your defense than I think you are, although that secondary is going to have some work. But especially if Brian Thomas can't get going early in the season, you've got a great shot, I think, to win this game. And I think you could win it by a touchdown, but it's probably going to be closer to a field goal.
Right. I think it's going to be a game that'll come down to the final possession, as most NFL games are, but particularly with this Bengal defense for sure.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I guess we'll call the Bengals segment done, and we'll close out this round, and we'll catch you in the next round where we talk about last possessions again, unfortunately. And welcome back to the next round, our final round of the night, with probably the game of the week, I would think.
Although maybe the game of the year.
Could be. Great game overall, but oh man, what a gut punch. If you have a friend that's a Ravens fan, please make sure you've checked on them today. Oh my gosh, that was not a good feeling for the Ravens. Oh man. I'm gonna read this from the Athletic to get us started here. The Ravens are one of 7 teams to lead at least 20 games by 9 to 16 points in the fourth quarter over the past 4 seasons. Those teams are 159 to 13, winning percentage of 92.4 over that span. Baltimore accounts for 6 of the 13 defeats. It's like, what the hell? Oh, Ravens are 25-6 during that span with a lovely winning percentage of 80. All the other teams on the list, Bills, Bengals, they have at least 90% win rate whenever they're at that point, or whenever they find themselves in that point. But Ravens, same old story, I guess. We just collapse, unfortunately, in a game. So until the clock hits zero, I don't think any Ravens fan is going to feel safe, no matter who the opponent is.
No.
I feel like this started a couple years ago in that Miami game where Miami just came back and trucked us in the second half. We had like a 20-point lead or 28-point lead, I think, in that one, something stupid. Which led to Mike Daniels keeping his job, but he may be losing that soon.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's week 1 of the season. Great. It sucks, but one of the things I'm not buying into is the hype of the first week. It's first week. So, I mean, while it sucks, at the same time, it is what it is. It's a loss. And yeah, could it come back and haunt you during playoff times when Bills and potentially Ravens are going for the number 1 seed? Yeah, it could, Jeff. But at the same time, like I said, there's nothing you can say necessarily to make it better.
If you
It's
were
a gut punch of a loss.
Yeah. Now, if you were to pick someone or some people that were responsible for
I'll tell you who's
this
responsible.
collapse,
I will tell you who is responsible. It is Todd Monken and John Harbaugh.
Okay.
Those are the two that are responsible for this nonsense. I mean, they've led to this collapse. Todd Monken, I'm not sure he's the guy that can call the big plays when it matters. Like, talent will get you so far, and the Ravens have a hugely talented roster. But I mean, we think back to that Chiefs divisional game a couple of years ago, and we're like, why did we stop running the ball?
Right.
That was Todd's game. Again, with this one, I feel like about the second way through this third quarter, I felt like we started playing a little too safe. Like, we didn't go. Like, why are we not trying to win this game? Why are we just trying to like play out the clock? And I mean, Harb's got to own some of that too because he's the head coach. He could be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And his press conference Monday after the game didn't make me feel any more confident about his decisions necessarily. What he said, it's like we had a plan going in. Like, that's great. Everybody has a plan going in. What happens when you get punched in the face? As Mike Tyson said.
Right.
And it's got to change. Like, yeah, great. You had a plan. Obviously, it changed. You couldn't adapt to it. And Josh Allen became Superman in the fourth quarter. More props to them. Josh Allen, man, looking phenomenal and looking like an MVP caliber player again. Although basically half the offensive yards of the Bills came in the fourth quarter. But yeah. And I wish, like we had talked about, I wish they had gone for it on that last fourth down. Like, I just feel like they were trying to drain the Bills' timeouts and just like, yeah, it'll be okay. We're going to trust our defense, which is a Baltimore thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this team has been hot. Their defense is kind of on its heels at that time. Yeah, in the press conference, apparently Lamar was not 100% coming out of the play. So Harbaugh voted not to send him back out. I'm sorry. You got Cooper Rush for a reason.
4th and 3 on
4th and 3, yes.
38.
Yeah.
That's gutsy to go for.
It's gutsy, but also you're kind of in that position too. And I don't know if this is Hopkins or just the way the route was run. Hopkins is running short of the first down that gets you that 4 and 3. Why is his route not past that first line? So I don't know if he just didn't know where it was at the time or that was just the play that he cut across and got over for. But it just seemed like I said, even earlier than that, in the end of about the second half of that third quarter, you're just like the play calling just seemed to shift. It's like we're not playing to win anymore and dominate them. We're just trying to hold on to this lead.
Right. And also too, when it was 40
and I mean, when you're up 15 points with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you expect to win.
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of get it, but at the same time, that's not something I feel like you should ever do. No one's down until you're down, especially with the Ravens the way this is going. And to me, Harbaugh has got to be on the hot seat. If the Ravens don't do well in the playoffs, I think he could be gone.
Sure. And again, with all these games that they've blown and the lack of playoff success under Lamar Jackson, I think there's definitely a good chance. Another um, play that I go back to when it was 3rd and 13, Baltimore's own 32. This is when it was 40-25. They had 13 yards to get. Zay Flower only gets 9 yards because that's what the route allowed for. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. Yeah, like I said, there's instances in that play call. You're just kind of like, that seems weird.
right.
Why did you do that? But is what it is. Like I said, either Monken's got to go, even though he's built a fabulous offense for the most part. This system suits this team very well. I mean, Derrick Henry had 169 yards with 2 touchdowns, 3 rushes of over 30 yards, first time in his career. Moved to 6th all time on the rushing touchdowns list of all time. Lamar Jackson, man, looking phenomenal as well. I'm sorry, I have misplaced Lamar Jackson stats, but Zay Flowers, man, 7 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown. It was a great day for the offense overall.
Yes,
Freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, Lamar 14 of 19 for 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Lamar
Thank
you. On the running side, 6 carries for 70.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I mean, they did great. Hopkins with an amazing one-handed catch. So I mean, let me poo on him a little and say, oh, he did an amazing touchdown catch too. Mark Andrews, unfortunately, was kind of non-existent in the passing game, but I thought he did well blocking. Same with Kolar. But I do expect to see Andrews kind of get a little more into that passing game. Isaiah Likely, I think, is going to miss one more game. They've got him as questionable right now, but I bet he misses one more, which I think will help Mark Andrews too, kind of recover from last year. Um, but man, yeah, Allen was a beast. 33 for 46 with 2 touchdowns in the air and 2 running.
And
Like he just put his tape on that fourth quarter and said, "Okay, I'll win this," which is what you'd like to see from the Ravens, but
just the opposite. Yeah, and
which has been the story.
Yeah, unfortunately, and then also too, we've been waiting to see if Keon Coleman could take that next step for Buffalo, and he had a phenomenal.
He did,
Uh,
and this kind of leads me to another point too. Like I'm not happy with his defense. I mean, I know most of the yards were scored in that fourth quarter, but still, giving up 25 to me as a Ravens fan, that's unacceptable. You got to keep opponents under 20.
Right.
That's like the bare minimum.
And 22 in the fourth.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Horrible fourth. Again, reminds me of that stinking Miami game a couple of years ago. But I mean, Jair Alexander getting turned around twice by Keon Coleman himself. Lastly, when he barely tricked him up to save from that touchdown score, which maybe he should have let Keon score, so the Ravens could have kept trying to go down the field. But he got turned around a couple of times. He just looked bad. But he's not the only one, man. I mean, Roquan Smith not filling the gaps that he should have had. Weak arm tackles, got stiffed arm by Shakir, I think. One of those runs. It's just like, that guy? Come on. So I don't know if maybe he's lost a step. I hope not, because he's the heart and soul of that defense. But I mean, that whole defensive unit as a whole, to me, just did not look good. You get 1 sack, and yeah, there's a bunch of extra pressures, and Allen's hard to take down. Don't get me wrong, but that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
you lose the turnover battle too.
The pass rush wasn't there either, because Matabuke is the only one that had the sack. Had this.
Yeah, the only thing I would say that our defense did well is 2-point conversion defenses. That's the only thing we did good on defense wise.
You want to talk about minute detail.
But yeah, so yeah, like our defense is another one that it's not looking good. I'm not. There's got to be significant improvement in week 2.
All right.
I'm going to have serious doubts that this team is going to be a Super Bowl champion. Is this going to
Right.
be a lot like the Bengals were last year to me? Like, yeah, phenomenal offense, but
Oh, that
defense is going to keep everything close, potentially cost you games. So,
God, I could only imagine. And then the Ravens were in two of those Bengals games, in which were high scoring, such as this one. Now,
yeah,
granted, they won both
5
of
touchdowns
those.
for both of them, for both
Yes.
those teams last year. I think
Yeah.
twice. Yeah,
Correct.
those games were much more enjoyable for me, Jeff. I don't know
Yeah, I
about you.
know. Yeah, the Baltimore
Yeah, I
came
know.
out on the right side of those games.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
as well, we did, as we talked a lot about the Browns last segment, and again, we watched a lot of that, almost all of that Browns Bengals game
Hmm.
live. Anything that the Browns give you concerns?
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I think Joe Flacco could have a big game. In all honesty, I think the run
Mhm.
defense could be okay. 'Cause I'm not really scared of Ford or anybody else that's on their running back side.
No.
But I think Flacco, he knows the systems, he knows the city, he knows some of the players. So I think Flacco could have a decent game again. So he kind of worries me a little bit, but luckily, like I said, I think the Browns are going to kind of muff it up a little bit with some drop passes, which is Jerry Judy's calling card.
Right.
Um, so not necessarily anybody besides Flacco, I would think would be the only one that worries me a little.
Yeah. And no
Yeah.
kicker really for the Browns either.
No, although that's another thing for ours, man. Tyler
Yeah,
Luke,
Tyler Loop missed an extra point, didn't he?
yeah, I mean, we potentially could have been tied after that field goal, but basically the way that defense was collapsing, I doubt that if the Bills wanted to, they could have scored a touchdown instead
Yes.
of sitting out the kicker. And also on that last one, Kyle Hamilton was, oh, this close to blocking that.
Yes.
Oh,
Very
you could even
close.
see his reaction afterwards. He's just like, many 4-letter words.
Yeah.
But, oh, I was like, for a second when he got around the edge, I was like, he's blocked it. Game over. And then unfortunately, he just missed it. It's like, heck, nab it. Oh, but like I said, it's early in the season, but the defense in particular, I think, has got to turn this around. Like I said, I'm gonna keep an eye on some of that play calling and the coaching because I honestly think Harbaugh could be gone if they don't do well in the playoffs. Because this has now been 3 or 4 years together with Lamar Jackson, where it's just like, hey, why can't you win when it matters? Or what's up with these collapses?
Right.
So some of this game management has got to be a little off, uh, or you're just not making the right decisions again and again and again.
Exactly.
One of those things has got to happen. Um, but yeah, the defense is really honestly what worries me out of this game. Like you said, especially with the 22-point half. Um, I don't care about Derrick Henry's fumble. I don't. It changed the game and wound up leading to the Bills winning. Let's be honest there, but I don't see Derrick
You
Henry doing
can't
that a lot.
bench him or anything
Yeah,
like that. What
you're
are
at
you gonna
169 yards.
do?
You did great and caught a pass.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, that defense. I mean, Roquan Smith and Jair Alexander in particular, I feel like I need to see more from them in particular. I am glad that most of the little kind of yardage that Buffalo was gaining was underneath the defense for most of the game.
Yes.
Um, and the only one that kind of I think really broke out besides Jair Alexander letting Coleman loose on 2 of those plays in the fourth was Cook's run. Other than that,
Correct.
run defense was great. Mid-range passing, really good. And Wiggins thought he had a great game too. So yeah, like I said, defense has just got to do better. Um, and one thing I did like too is overall, I think our offensive line did well. This remade offensive line did
Yeah.
pretty good. Now, Filet, a couple plays just kind of looked like a lost kid in a grocery store. Like, where's my parents? When trying to block
Hmm.
for Lamar, but Lamar's Lamar and just looks amazing getting out of the scrambles. So, I mean, he needs to improve a little bit there for sure. But I think Voorhees was good. Stanley, Rosengutter, Lindbaum, most part, very solid. Good play by the offensive line.
Yeah, a lot of people were concerned about that offensive line, or really for the past couple years now, and it's held on quite well. So
Yeah,
it's good to see if
yeah,
you're a Ravens fan.
very true, very true. One thing I was kind of surprised about though is Keon Mitchell being a healthy scratch. They went with
Yeah.
Ali instead as the third back, basically on that team. They said Zay Flowers could fill his role in the jet sweep types of plays, and Ali was going to be more for special teams. So Mitchell's healthy from the injury, so he was supposed to
Yeah,
be kind of that big bust the lane open type of thing where Derrick Henry's your bruiser. Um, so very interesting, but that was
and we
one of the
didn't
things
even
I wanted.
see a lot from Justice Hill in this game either.
No, very true, very true.
Not like you need to see it when Derrick Henry is running all over Lamar Jackson for that matter as well. But yeah, we didn't see
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much from Justice Hill on the
yeah. I mean,
backfield.
yeah, like we said, the backup running backs only had 3 carries.
Yes.
Right, Lamar had 6, Derrick Henry had 18, um, for 238 rushing yards total. Um, so yeah, phenomenal. And I mean, like I said, the offense is great. Defense, like they were noting earlier, the Ravens were the first team to score 40 points this season. Unfortunately, the Ravens let the Bills become the second team to score 40 or more points this season. So, yeah, gut bunch of a game for a Ravens fan, but definitely a classic. And like you said, maybe even the game of the year during our first week. Phenomenal game overall. Just great game to watch. One other thing from this game is Lamar Jackson's fan interaction that
Oh
we need to
yes.
speak
How could we
about.
forget?
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know, Lamar Jackson basically was in the end zone, got pushed by a fan in the helmet, kind of the face mask area, I want to say. And then he pushed the fan back into the stands. And that was kind of the end of it. Security took the fan out after that. The Bills have already banned him for life from the stadium,
Correct.
so he will not be back for that stadium for sure. Um, no word on if Lamar is going to face anything. I haven't heard any rumblings that he may be suspended for an interaction with a
I don't
fan.
I don't see how you could. I mean, you just really got
You're defending
you're
yourself really at that point. So
Yeah, and it's not like a Ron Artest situation where he goes into the stands.
no.
He stayed on the field. Lamar even's like, hey, I've got to keep my cool after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, so we'll have to see if there's anything else coming from that game. But so lots to unpack in that game. Like as we said, great game. But looking forward to Cleveland now.
Yes.
Ravens have already admitted they've already started game planning in the press conference they had. Very sorry press conference by John Harbaugh after unfortunate loss. But yeah, the Browns, like we kind of mentioned earlier, so I mean the defense is above average, so I think this is going to be a much harder team. It's going to show a little more of how good is this offense really, because to me the Bills are potentially one of the worst defensive teams in the league, which is kind of weird to say. You got 3 awesome contenders: the Ravens, the Bills, and the Bengals that all have the same basic problem.
Right.
We can score, but we can't defend anybody.
Exactly.
So I said, okay, I don't know what the hell just happened there. Sorry. Oh. Okay, let's see if I can fix this in post. Hold on, do I got the hiccups now?
Oh no.
Okay, let me start back where I was. Oh, sorry about that, Joe.
Very good.
Oy. Okay. But yeah, I am expecting a big game for Joe Flacco. I think he'll do good. I think pretty much the Browns, like you said, I think they'll do the same thing against the Bengals. They'll get about 5 receptions a pop. They'll spread the ball around, but at the same time, the Browns are going to shoot themselves in the foot, which hopefully leads to a Ravens win. I'm not necessarily even going to predict that right now because the way I feel after Sunday, I don't think you can predict the Ravens win.
Yeah.
You can only predict losses at this point for the Ravens, unfortunately, on my side. I would like to see for them to win, and I feel strongly they could win, but I don't think I can predict it one way or the other. I guess, do you have anything else? And if not, we can close out with your pick for the game.
I like the Ravens to win this game. I think
Until the fourth quarter, right?
Oh yeah, until the fourth quarter. The Ravens, I believe, are 11.5-point favorites in this game. I don't, even though the Bengals made Joe Flacco look really solid and Josh Allen went off on Baltimore, I don't see Joe Flacco bouncing back as you do. And I think Derrick Henry has no problem running all over the Browns defense. The only issue would be is if Myles Garrett can get going and cause Lamar some trouble. But other than that, I just it's hard to envision the Ravens losing back-to-back games, especially the way they looked against Buffalo for 3.5 quarters.
Yes. Well, I hope your prediction is correct, good sir.
Yes.
But we'll have to see. Like I said, the Browns are one of the worst teams, so if they lose that game, it's going to look horrible going into the rest of the season. I don't know how you felt after the Bengals started 0-3 last year almost, I feel like, if they lose to the Browns.
Exactly.
But, yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll call that the end of this round and end of this segment and night for everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully Mr. Porter's feeling better. You can join us again next week. We'll catch you on same bat time, same bat channel next week, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Good night.